people who are quick to judge, quick to criticize others, and who feel morally superior and justified in their view. Well, I'm one of them. 2 summers ago, I met a guy named Dave at a conference. At the opening cocktail party, we're drinking, chatting, how do you like the conference, the food, the vibe? It's very friendly and casual, until the conversation turns to politics. And without getting into our political affiliations, Dave turns to me and he says, "You know, I'm not a porcupine, I'm a hedgehog." My first reaction is visceral. Like, what? What did he just say? Did he just say he was a hedgehog? Wait a minute. There are hedgehogs at this conference? And that was the beginning of this cascading series of thoughts in my head. So the friendly feeling of the cocktail chat, it's fading quickly. He's a hedgehog. I am a porcupine. We're on different teams. It was immediately him versus me. When someone disagrees with our ideas, it can feel like a threat, even a personal attack on our beliefs, our principles, our integrity. Our whole system, mind and body, get activated. Our body moves from relaxation to physical tension, anger, and defensiveness. We lose access to our rational mind. The amygdala, the place in our brain that governs alarm and danger, gets fired up and fills us with adrenaline and emotion. I'm ready, the brain says. And I was. I was ready to fight and argue and defend. I mean, who is he to tell me porcupines have it all wrong? Now, of course, Dave didn't say that, but I'm having this parallel conversation with Dave in my head, and it's really loud. I mean, I felt like he had threatened my whole porcupine existence. But did he? Did he attack my character or accuse me of being misinformed? No. He just said he was a hedgehog. Poor Dave. Our beliefs about ourselves and the world, they're the result of many things. Things conscious and unconscious, public and deeply private. Our history and family, our relationships and experiences, the actions we take in the world, even our failures, disappointments, losses. They're all pieces of our identity woven together to create our view of the world. So, Dave and I get into it. We start with abortion. Now, I'm sort of listening to Dave, but I'm really just forming my own arguments in my head because I know the typical hedgehog view of abortion, so I'm convinced I know exactly what to expect from Dave. From there, we go on to debate Israel, another low-stress subject. The conference we're at, it's about Jewish leadership, so there are plenty of religious and cultural things to debate, which we do. Then we go on to debate the death penalty. At this point, I don't even know what Dave is saying. All I know is, I was right. Self-righteousness, the conviction that I'm right and you're wrong, and that moral certainty that my views are the correct ones. Porcupines are better. Hedgehogs, they're not that bright. And to be honest, they're not that attractive either. They waddle around on those fat legs. My judgment is so clouded, I can't even see that there's room for both views. I hear myself saying things like, "That's outrageous," and "How ridiculous." Words that denigrate. So in my head, not only is Dave wrong, he's also stupid. The problem with this way of thinking, it distances us from the other person. It puts us into camps. It's the opposite of creating a bridge. Our inclination to judge others, it's one of the most powerful impulses we have. Now, judgment is a neutral term. It can mean discernment or thoughtfulness, but in this instance, it means making negative assumptions of another. And it comes from, in part, our own insecurities. How does it work? Well, our feelings of insecurity and inadequacy, they're really hard to sit with. They feel uncomfortable and we hate that part of ourselves, so we project all of those feelings outward and find fault with everyone else. For example, in my younger years, I was a professional dancer. I gave it up to go follow a boyfriend out to California. I have a lot of conflict about letting it go. So I could go find a ballet class to go to, right? But somehow I never get there. All that regret and conflict would get stirred up. So now whenever I go to a dance event, even at my kids' school, I find myself getting irrationally critical and judgmental. Look, the choreography, it's terrible. She's not pointing her toes. All of my own insecurity comes pouring out in the form of judgment of a bunch of 12-year-olds at their local dance recital. So where are we with Dave? My mind is racing with all kinds of negative thoughts about how idiotic he is. And not just his ideas, him. I know, I met him about 10 minutes ago, but I've written him off as a total jerk. So, last summer, I see Dave again at another conference. And when I see him, I think, oh, there's that guy again. What's he gonna say now? We start talking. Turns out he's also the parent of a high school senior. We talk about getting our kids ready for college, the challenges of parenting an adolescent, no talk of porcupines or hedgehogs. I think this bit of shared experience plus the passage of time kind of gives me pause. It slows me down to get a different perspective on Dave. I hate to admit it, he's a really nice guy. After we say goodbye, I almost turn around and apologize for my behavior that first summer. But I don't. So, what can we do when we encounter someone with a different view? How can we mitigate our own reactivity? Well, the first thing is to recognize how emotional our belief system is and how quickly our mind moves from rational to irrational. Slowing down our reaction time is vital. This helps us to resist that temptation to be right and that impulse to judge and denigrate. I wish I could redo that first summer with Dave. If I could, how might it go? Well, when he revealed his hedgehog status, I might have tried to grab hold of my rational mind. Are any of you dog owners? Do you know when your dog sees another dog across the street and lunges forward and you're like, whoa, whoa, slow down, let's just say hello, let's just have a sniff? The dog is our own mind. And when Dave told me he was a hedgehog, I lunged forward into all kinds of accusations and assumptions. If I could redo it, I would have said, all right, he's a hedgehog. Let's find out what he actually thinks. Being right feels good, but it doesn't further the conversation or help us listen to what someone is actually saying. Instead of arguing with Dave in my head, I might have said, okay, tell me more so I understand. And if I felt that judgment creep in, I could have asked myself, whoa, am I projecting something that I'm insecure about? I don't know if I'll ever see Dave again, but I know he won't be the last person I meet that I disagree with. And when that time comes, I hope I can hold on to my rational mind, slow down, and really listen. And maybe then I'll learn something about a view different from my own. Thank you.